Why? Oh, no. No, no, I gotta turn my lights on. Look at I'm orange. Hold on. What a ding dong. Oh my goodness. Doesn't matter anyway. It's all good. It's all good, everybody. Wow. Oh man. I'm like, why am I orange? I was orange because I didn't have any lights turned on. Sometimes we just get wrapped up in what we're doing. So, hi, everybody. I know that I put 5 o'clock as a start time, but you know what? I have to kind of go with things at this moment because someone is quiet. And if you know, it's Louis the doggy. So I got to make sure that I can get through this without him going bonkers. So, hi, everybody. It's Friday, and I hope that you've had a wonderful week. I can't believe the week is. Oh, can you believe it's already the weekend? It's crazy. So, Al was telling me that here in Rhode Island, the weather is supposed to be insanely beautiful next week, like in the 70s. And I'm not shocked because this is New England weather, and then we'll probably have a snowstorm in 2 weeks. I mean, it's just the way it goes. And I guess you go with it, you roll with it, and just like Steve Winwood said, roll with it, baby. And we're just doing that. And my week was very, very busy. I can't believe it's like literally, I can't believe it's the end of the week. It's so weird when that happens. You know what I mean? Hey, Tanya, how are you? Welcome aboard. So glad you could be here. Everybody who can't be here, of course, can watch this later, which is so cool. That's the cool thing about YouTube is that, you put something up here, you go live, and if your friends are here, great. And if they're not, they can always participate later. So we are very thankful for that. And yeah, like I said, it's just crazy how it's already the end of this week. I feel like it was just Monday. And isn't it like that every week, though? It kind of is. And tomorrow, we're actually doing an event at this really cool place that I have not yet been inside of yet. It's called TLC. It's in Coventry, Rhode Island. And Al is setting up for a remote there. He has actually now, I don't know how should I put this, received the capability of going live from places. He's been working on that for so long. Listen, here's the thing. The young whippersnappers can just do anything, right? We're old. And, to figure these things out, it just takes time. So he's like all excited now. He goes live from, home, and I'm like, stop doing that, because you just don't know. Like if I say something like, all right, I yell at you. No, I don't yell at him, but you just never know. So he's very excited. He's done quite a few remotes now. And, this will be cool because, like I said, it's supposed to be super nice tomorrow. And it's a very cool place in Coventry. And we just want the whole world to know about them. So if you happen to be in Coventry, Rhode Island tomorrow, they're giving away sugar pumpkins for the kids. I'm kind of guessing, like, I'm like, what's a sugar pumpkin? Is it sweet? I don't know. I think they're just little, kind of like gourds, the gourds you can get at the supermarket. So I think they're those. They're giving away apple cider donuts, which let me tell you what, can I just say I am all about having an apple cider donut. And there he goes. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what I mean. This is why I was trying to, get this going before went bananas, but we're just going to have to roll with it today. So, this is what we got. This is what we have, and we're going. I hope all of you are doing great. And there is a lot of news today. And one very, very, oh, you know what? Before I move on, my name is Kiki. For those of you who don't know, my husband and I have a radio station, Kiki.fm, free, free, free in the App Store. Go ahead and download the app, the best in classic rock hits and classic rock music. And also, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'm trying to do this twice a week now, which, it seems to be working out pretty good. Again, I do not have set days or set times because I just unfortunately can't. I would love to. The Friday night thing was working out great for a very long time. I also did Thirsty Thursdays. I just, unfortunately, I can't pick a day and a time anymore because I just have way too much stuff going on in my life. I'm so sorry. It's crazy, but hey, I figure that's why when I can show up here, I will and give you guys, some updated information and you can watch it later, which is fine. It's all good. So hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, and let's get into all this stuff. I have to put my glasses on. So this story, oh my goodness, everyone's talking about it. This very, very tragic story that happened this past Wednesday. Former member of the huge boy band One Direction, I know my daughter was a very big fan, passed away at the age of 31. Liam Payne. I mean, what a devastating story to even read about. But as we dig into the details, I mean, it's just very, very, very sad. So Liam fell off a hotel balcony in Argentina. He was on the third floor, and some witnesses have allegedly said that he jumped off the balcony, but it is not definite if he jumped or if he fell. Witnesses also alleged that. Liam overindulged in drugs and alcohol. Again, this is all hearsay. And that quote was from a hotel employee who also said on the 911 call that someone was needed there urgently because, as they said, he may be at risk. The autopsy has already been completed, and it says that Liam died from polytrauma, which is multiple injuries, some of which may have caused significant disability or maybe were life threatening. So clearly that was the case. Prosecutors are investigating if a third party was involved in his death, and it was just released that Liam was seen arguing with a woman about money in the hotel lobby where he was staying. The conversation between the two was said to be about the sum of $20,000. Liam said that he would give her the money. He was worth $55 million dollars, and he likes to help people. And allegedly, he kept repeating that statement over and over and over again, and many witnesses heard that. Liam was said to be very upset at the woman who was speaking with him, and she was speaking in Spanish. That had to be translated to him by the hotel's manager, who also said that Liam seemed very agitated, a little wild, and was walking around, pacing, and seemed very energized. He also said that the woman he was talking to seemed very uncomfortable and also apprehensive. Now, that very evening is when it was confirmed that Liam had died, and a hotel guest allegedly overheard Liam say, "I used to be in a boy band. That's why I'm so effed up." Simon Cowell originated the band One Direction and managed them alongside Simon's record company, Sicko Records. Liam always gave back. I mean, the things that I was reading about him, way too long to even go into here, but he was a big supporter of UNICEF and Trek stock. Liam leaves behind his parents, sister, and a 7-year-old son named Bear. Very tragic, very sad. Again, so many celebrities, coming out and saying just how sad this is, and of course for his family, his young son. I mean, you just don't know what makes people get to that point, but you pray for everyone who's left from his family and his friendship circle. So may Liam be at peace now, and hopefully that is the case. And in other news, Jake E. Lee. What a crazy week this has been for entertainment news stories. It's just crazy. So, Jake E. Lee, who was just walking his dog in Vegas, 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, granted, kind of late, to be out doing anything at 2 o'clock in the morning, but the guy was just out walking his dog and he was shot multiple times. And from people.com, he actually just shared his health update 2 days after being shot. He says he feels relatively very lucky. Can you imagine just going through something like that and, thankfully being here to talk about it? So, Jakey Lee, again, he was just walking his dog on this past Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. And he was Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist. He actually offered an update on the Red Dragon Cartel Facebook page. He said, I deeply appreciate all the concern and well wishes, makes everything going on a little better. To clarify, I was shot 3 times. I was on my way back home from walking my dog, Coco. And then he says, I didn't name him, so don't. Don't want to go into details now. I'm tired, but I feel relatively lucky. So, of course, there were, I mean, are there details? Again, this is allegedly just a random shooting, someone who's walking his dog, but did he? You wonder, did he know the person? Like, what details are there that he can share? I read the other day that allegedly it is random. So I guess we'll find out more as he's willing to offer more information to the public. His dog, Coco, was not injured, thank goodness. And police officers, according to Jake, found 15 shell casings around the crime scene, indicating the suspect emptied his clip on the musician. Holy gosh. Can you just, oh my God, like I said, just being able to live through that is unbelievable. And all we can say is, thankfully, he did. So he also said, I could only dodge so many. So one bullet went through my forearm. So he was dodging several bullets, which is just unbelievable to me. One went through his foot and one went in his back, which broke a rib and then damaged a lung. The priority now is to keep draining my lung till it's done crying. And then we can pull that tube out and concentrate on the more minor injuries, he said. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. So, Las Vegas police previously said they believe the shooting was not targeted, and the incident did take place around 2:45 in the morning, and no arrests have been made yet. And Jake is fully expected to recover. So, that is wonderful news. And again, all of our best going out to Jake E. Lee. Now, the Menendez brothers, of course, this case has gotten so much publicity lately, even though it happened. Well, I mean, what year did it exactly? Okay, so it was 1989. So back in the late 80s, this was all over the news. I believe they were convicted in 93. Don't quote me on that, but for some reason, I think that's when they, you know, eventually were convicted. But this has been all over the place because of new evidence that has come out, and their murder case is actually getting reevaluated based on this new evidence. And their next hearing will be just around the corner in November. And this is from abcnews.com. Now, people are kind of speculating that the brothers may go free. Alleged. They may have the possibility of being released from prison after, the brutal and severe killing of their parents. Now, if you have not watched the story on Netflix most recently, there's been many, many, many films and documentaries done on the Menendez brothers, but the most recent one that came out on Netflix actually goes into the pot. I'm so sorry. I really apologize. You know what? I'm going to grab him for a second because I have to. Come on. Come here. How many times do you see this? You don't. You don't, because most people have dogs that are well behaved. But unfortunately, I have a dog that is not. Now he's great. He's a real sweetheart. But he just literally, if he knows I'm here in his presence, he can't be quiet. He can't. He has to be held. He has to be with me. So I sincerely apologize. Let's move on, shall we? You okay now, Lou? Thank you. So on August 20th of 1989, that is when 21-year-old Lyall and 18-year-old Eric Menendez gunned down their parents in their Beverly Hills mansion. Jose Menendez, he was only 45 at the time. He was an entertainment executive, and I have to dig into him because I guess he was a big person at a record company, and again, you not hearing too much about that. So I'm really interested in just kind of seeing what he was really all about. And 47-year-old Kitty Menendez, she was a stay-at-home wife and mom. So the brothers were actually sentenced to life in prison after being convicted at their second retrial following mistrials in the first trial. So again, we know that they killed their parents. They said they did that. The motivation allegedly behind the murders was because they say that they were abused. Many family members of the brothers have come out and they said that they should be released from prison. And, you know, there are family members who believe the brothers, but then there are other people who say that there's no way the abuse could have happened. So you have to believe what the brothers are saying. It's just hard because the parents aren't here. So let's see. During their initial trial, defense attorney Leslie Abramson contended that Lyle and Eric shot their parents in self defense because in this documentary on Netflix, which just came out not too long ago, it's 9 episodes, I believe. They said that they really thought their parents were going to kill them, the brothers. So this was part of the reason that the murders took place. They were afraid for their lives. So the first trial ended in a mistrial on January 13th of 1994 due to a deadlocked jury. And the brothers were eventually found guilty of first-degree murder in 1996. That's when they received 2 consecutive life prison terms without the possibility of parole. So the brothers' attorney say that there is a letter from Eric that he wrote to his cousin talking about the abuse. And this letter is what is allegedly, possibly going to get the brothers released from prison. So we'll see more to come on that for sure. I mean, things keep rolling out all the time about this, as well as Diddy. Now, the whole Diddy dilemma really is what you can call it. It goes way deeper than that, but it is clearly a dilemma for some people who have been to the Diddy parties. Now, there is one article, this is from IMDb, and let's see. It said that the Diddy parties had no safety after a certain hour. And there are some clips out there. I haven't really watched many of them. I did see one, and he pretty much basically says that, okay, it's such and such a time. Well, for those of you underage, you need to go. So, what does that tell you? Stuff was going to go down after that. And I don't know, in this video, I think he also said, for those of you who don't want to stick around for the other stuff, which it's all coming out what the other stuff entailed, you can go. It's just insane how this guy got away with this, like I said, for so long. And I guess the parties have been talked about for a very, very long time. And once this all came to light, and Diddy was really, his feet were put to the fire about all of these things that, are taking place. That video that came out of him hitting his girlfriend, I mean, multiple times. That video is so disturbing. I can't, I can't get that out of my head. It's so like at that point, that guy should have been put away. And again, like I say, who was watching those hotel security cameras at that time? And did they not see this was happening was right in the hallway outside of the elevators. So you just have to, how many people kept their mouth shut about this whole thing? And like I said, now it's coming out about celebrities who would go to these parties. Well, what celebrities and high profile people actually stayed for the other portion of these parties, these really nasty, illegal, terrible parties. So, a former Bad Boy employee, and that's from Bad Boy Records, he said that he worked with Diddy for years as a publicity director for Bad Boy. She went to his parties, but she had to be on high alert. And she went on to say that I know that there's no safety after a certain hour when you've got drinks flowing and people behind your back doing drugs in bathrooms and 2 or 3 people walking out of a bathroom together. Oh my gosh. Can only imagine. And again, we've heard so many things about these parties, but there's also another article, when it comes to celebrities and high profile people from people.com. Sean Diddy Combs was obsessed with Princes William and Harry, but they never accepted party invites. So Diddy was a big fan of Prince William and Prince Harry, but they never ever went to one of his parties. Rob Shooter, who did work as a publicist for Diddy between 2002 and 2004, he told the BBC News that he was told to call William and Harry and invite them to Diddy's events more than 10 times. However, the royals never went. They never accepted the invites. And Diddy actually would offer to cover their travel, their lodging, and also he offered to pay for their security. And Shooter went on to say that Diddy was obsessed with Prince Harry and Prince William. He thinks of himself as a king, so it makes sense that he would like to have 2 princes in his entourage. Oh my God. Like, you think of yourself as a king? King what? Unbelievable. Again, allegedly, all of these nasty things that he did, he got away with this for a really long time. So he probably did look at himself as a king. So more on that to come as well. And more, I would think, on the celebrities who were involved in these parties. And a lot of people, after this all started to go down, they completely started distancing themselves, unfollowing him on social media. Well, people already knew that you were following him. So I don't know. I just don't know. So just want to say a quick hello to Cindy and Suzanne. Hi. Thank you so much for being here. And Patty, so glad you could make it. And let's see, Bruce Springsteen. So we heard not too long ago that his wife, sadly, his wife, Patty Shalfa, is suffering from cancer. And this is from Newsweek.com. He just gave an update on Patty's condition. And let's see, he said that she's doing good. We caught it early, which was important. It's a tough disease. It's very fatiguing. And I guess there's going to be an ABC special called Bruce Springsteen Backstage and Backstreets. And that aired this week, which I'll have to go and check it out and look it up. It aired this past Tuesday. And again, that was on ABC. So you should be able to find that on demand and watch that special. So Patty did let everyone know last month that she was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a form of blood cancer. And she announced the news during Bruce Springsteen's documentary titled Rock Diary, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band And that premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. And in that film, she did explain that her health condition was a factor in her decision to take a step back from Springsteen and the E Street Band's current world tour, which began on 2023 in February, and it's set to go until July of 2025. And Patty said, "This affects my immune system, so I have to be careful what I choose to do and where I choose to go. Every once in a while, I come to a show or two and I can sing a few songs on stage, and that's a treat. That's the new normal for me right now, and I'm okay with that." She said that in the documentary. So Bruce, I guess, has also had his health issues. He's postponed several performances due to peptic ulcer disease. And the E Street Band said in one of the postponements, Mr. Springsteen is being treated for symptoms of peptic ulcer disease, and the decision of his medical advisors is that he should postpone the remainder of his September shows. And he did get back to the stage in March of this past year. And Bruce and Patty have been married since the early 90s, but they actually knew each other and connected in the early 80s when they met at a local bar. And she ended up joining the band as a backup singer, and the rest is Bruce Springsteen history. So, all the best to Bruce and, of course, to Patty. I yeah, this is say hello. You might as well. Do you hear him breathing? I know. This is my life. This is literally, he thinks he's a person too. I just wanted to say that. He thinks that he he's a human being and it's fine, but he acts like a toddler all the time. He's 14. He acts like a baby. Right, Lewis? Yes. No, I can't. Hey, Carol Jean, how are you? She said it's freezing there and the wind is terrible cold. We had a lot of freezing temps the past couple of weeks. Well, not freezing, not below zero, but definitely in the upper 20s. And it is just, I think we're in for it this winter here in New England. I really do. They keep saying, "Oh, we're going to get a lot of snow. It's going to be cold." I feel that. Like last year, we've been lucky though. We've been so lucky the past several years that we've had very mild winters and very little snow, but I just don't wanna deal with that. But I'm not moving anywhere else. I'm not moving to a warmer climate because we know how that can go because other weather events can take place in those warmer places too. So we're just gonna sit put, thanks, and we're just gonna see what happens. I have a feeling my bad back and I are going to have to shovel with Al. But you know what? Fingers crossed it doesn't happen. And let's see, Carol Jean said it was so hot, record temps. Now it's cold. This is what's happening kind of here too, because I was just saying earlier that we're expected to get into the 70s here in Rhode Island next week. So I don't know. You know what? I have this velour top on right now, which I did wear a few days ago, and I'm not sorry about it. Because it's fine. And, the other day I had a short sleeve shirt on. You just don't know. And I have my big, warm, fluffy jacket, which, I'm all about light layers now. I needed that jacket the other day. It was that cold in the morning when I left. So it is what it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And what is Alex Van Halen going to do? This is crazy. I'm going, what is going on? Why is Alex all in the news? Now, this is from NJ.com. I'm guessing New Jersey.com. And everybody's been talking about, a Van Halen reunion lately. Well, I thought that was really off the table anyway. But Alex pretty much put all of those rumors to absolute rest. And what Alex said was the reason for the not reunion is because David Lee Roth refused to pay tribute to the late Eddie Van Halen because Alex just did a big interview with Rolling Stone magazine, which you have to pay for to read the article. But, of course, we're getting snippets here and there. And I think the article's probably out there. I just haven't found it. So we know that Eddie passed away from cancer in 2020. He was only 65. And Alex did go on to say that everything really fell apart with the band when him and David had a big, ginormous falling out and a big argument. And Alex said that the thing that broke the camel's back, and I can be honest about this now, and he said this during this Rolling Stone interview, was I said, Dave, at some point we have to have a very overt, not a bowing, but an acknowledgement of Ed in the gig. If you look at how Queen does it, they show old footage. And the moment I said, we got to acknowledge Ed, Dave effin' popped a fuse. The vitriol that came out was unbelievable. And I don't even get, why would you not want to honor Eddie? What is the problem? But, Dave is, he's different. Dave is, his actions can be strange. Let's be honest. And you just don't know what he's going to say or what he's going to do. But that is really, you want to say the word mean, but you also want to say it's just, I feel it's like the word strange is right at the top of my head. So David Lee Roth declined to comment on the story that was published by Rolling Stone magazine with Alex Van Halen. And Alex did actually reach out to Queen's Brian May to talk about how they perform and pay tribute to the late Freddie Mercury. And Alex went on to say, it's just, my God, it's like I don't know him anymore. I have nothing but the utmost respect for his work ethic and all that. But Dave, you got to work as a community, mother effer. It's not you alone anymore. So I guess, let's see. Alex said he's okay with canceling the tour and is still on speaking terms with David. He also notes that a tour may have not been possible anyway because he had a back injury in 2022 that allowed him to not be able to move, basically. I can totally empathize with that. And as a matter of fact, I was telling you guys the other day it was my neck. Today it's my back. It's just unbelievable. It's the cold weather. That's what's happening. So Alex does have a new memoir called Brothers. And he said that everybody who is hoping for a tell-all is going to be disappointed. He told Billboard, and this is from Billboard.com, it's not about the dirt. If I start throwing dirt, it'll never end. I think some people would like that. That's how projects are sold nowadays. I think it divides the audience, and we're not here to divide. I think the tone of the book and how I want the book to be perceived is more on a spiritual and creative level. That's why there's very little or any dirt in there. The majority of things that were written about Ed were third party. They weren't really there. I'm not degrading any of it, but it's not accurate. I really feel like a lot of the stuff that was out there was incorrect and it didn't do justice to the more sensitive side of Ed. So before I die, I would like to at least partially set the record straight. So Brothers, which is being published, and I would guess being released on October 22nd, which is in just a few days. It was written by New York staff writer Ariel Levy. He said he does acknowledge the sex, drugs, and the rock and roll because you kind of can't because everybody knows. Everybody knows, and it's been written about time and time again. But as the title indicates, it's primarily a chronicle of Alex's relationship with Eddie. And let's see. Alex went on to say it's very emotional with some passages that were written directly to Eddie. And he also said that the process of writing this book took a big toll on him. And Alex said, "You have to remember, we were together for 65 years. That's a lifetime, if not more. And Brothers not only forced me to look at everything Ed and I had done in our lifetime, but also, and I should thank Ed for this, it forced me to look at me. What are my motivations? Why am I really doing this? Who does anybody do this? It took me a lot of places, very heavy." Brothers is 231 pages, and Alex talks about the very tight bond between him and Eddie personally and musically. And he's hoping that that connection comes across in this book. And he said that Brothers was one of a kind mission on Van Halen's part to offer a more expensive and sophisticated view of his brother's talents. There was more going on than most people recognize or realize, and it's not our job to teach people, said Alex, who also makes use of the book a variety of other sources, including interviews that were already taken from his brother. And he went on to say when Ed picked up the guitar, he could make it sing. It was amazing. That sound, that intonation was phenomenal. You couldn't express it in words. Everybody gets blinded by the fact Ed was such a phenomenal player that you're not even understanding who the human being was. Maybe people don't care, but I care. He's my brother. So you can hopefully get that on October 22nd. There was actually another article. It's out on Brave Words. Alex also said that the split with David Lee Roth was the most disappointing thing he'd experienced in his life, the thing that seemed the most wasteful and unjust until he lost his brother. And just that headline right there says it all. So we don't even have to go into the rest of that, but I pretty much think it says it all. So yeah, October 22nd for that book. That should be quite interesting. And what is all of this about a potential Fleetwood Mac reunion? I'm going, what's going on? Because I didn't think that was ever, ever going to happen again. And I mean, even Stevie said when Christine passed away, she's like, it's just never going to happen because she's not here. However, now let's go, well, before the however, let's go back a little bit. In When was this article written? This is from Forbes.com. This is from June of this past year. Stevie said that there was absolutely no chance of a Fleetwood Mac reunion. Now, it's been more than 20 years since the Mac released an album. And of course, they've had several releases, collections, remakes, all kinds of things. But, Stevie said there is no more future for Fleetwood Mac. Stevie did an interview with Mojo, and she said Fleetwood Mac is basically defunct. So when Christine McVie passed away unexpectedly in 2022, that's what made Stevie say that there was no chance ever of Fleetwood Mac either making music or touring again. Stevie said, without Christine, no can do. There is no chance of putting Fleetwood Mac back together in any way. Without her, it just couldn't work, which makes sense, right? And where's John McVie? Is he okay? You haven't heard a thing about him. I know that he had many, many health issues, but we haven't heard a thing about John. So hopefully he's doing okay. But again, could he even tour? It seems like Mick could tour, Lindsay could tour, but would that happen with Stevie and Lindsay after everything that went down and he got fired from the band, several years ago? Could it even happen? So when Stevie lost her friend Christine, she said it was all stunningly strange because there wasn't any lead up to it. So she said that she was planning on traveling to go ahead and see Christine to say goodbye upon learning that she was sick, but she was instructed not to come at the last minute. Her family told her, "Don't come because she may not be here tomorrow." And that very next day, she passed away. How sad is that? Oh my gosh. So even though Christine McVie passed and Stevie said there would be no Fleetwood Mac reunion, fans were not expecting one. And of course, like I just said, Stevie and Lindsay don't get along. And how would they even be able to work together at this stage of the game? So you're thinking, well, no way. No way. I pretty much put it to rest as well. Because I talked about this a few days ago when I did my live on Tuesday. If you had not seen Stevie on Saturday Night Live from last weekend, oh my, please go and watch the clips of her singing. She is unbelievable. That woman can still sing. And as I had mentioned, it's as if she has morphed into who she is today. Does she sing like she did in the 70s? Well, no, but that's not the sound that she's singing. She's singing how she is today, and it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I read that they were also having some technical difficulties before Stevie went on. And I think there was like a 50-second break in the show because they I don't know, there was a mic problem or something. They moved her mic pack from one side to the other, but it all went off without a hitch and she just sounded amazing. So please go ahead and watch those clips of Stevie if you didn't see the show. It was so so good. But now recently there is new rumors that a Fleetwood Mac reunion could really possibly happen. What? What do you mean? And this is from thecoast.net. And like I just said, despite being told numerous times it's not happening, there's no Fleetwood Mac reunion. That's not going to take place. Well, now people are kind of saying, maybe it's not really the case. So let's see. And even Mick Fleetwood last year, he said, "I think right now, I truly think the line in the sand has been drawn with the loss of Chris." But I guess, let's see, there's an Instagram account for the band, which has been followed by both Stevie and Mick. And fans, let's see, they have screenshots that are posted on TikTok to show that the account is following Lindsey Buckingham, but then this goes on to say that's not true. So this is a new Fleetwood Mac account that is set to private. It's not accepting new followers. It follows 4 accounts and has just 9 following it in return. This is so strange. Again, I'm reading these things for the first time with you guys, so I'm so good. Like, this article is so confusing. So let's see. The new Fleetwood Mac TikTok account also was launched like the Instagram account, and it has an official badge. Now, listen, from what I know, you got to pay for these things. Like Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it, keeps like sending me these emails. Oh, you can make your Kiki Classic Rock Meta verified. I'm not paying for that. I don't need a blue badge. I'm good. I know I'm here. You know I'm here. You want to follow me? Cool. you don't, that's fine too. It's all good, but I'm not paying for a blue badge. I'm cheap that way. So let's see. Many excited posts have been coming out from fans saying that, "Oh my gosh, maybe they're gonna get back together." Why? Because they're following an account? I'm so like, is that why? Is that why this rumor was started? It said the band could be preparing, to go back out on the road, but Fleetwood Mac's official Twitter account, that is up, that's active. Um, but then a fan who shared the band's new social media accounts on TikTok said that their official website is down. All right, let's check. Let's look, shall we? Is the Fleetwood Mac website, well, I probably should share this with you guys. Let's share it, shall we? We're going to share it. New tab. Share. Can you see? Good. Let's go fleetwoodmac.com. I'm guessing that's their website. Oh, look at that. This site can't be reached, but is that the real site for Fleetwood Mac? Let's see. Fleetwood Mac. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look-see, shall we? Fleetwood Mac. Is it fleetwoodmac.com? I don't know. Is it fleetwoodmac.news? Is it fleetwoodmac. Is it fleetwoodmac. I love Stevie Nicks? It doesn't say. Let's see. Website. Let's do this. Do you hear Louis' stomach? I do. Website. He's like literally curled up on me right now, which is fine. Fleetwood Mac store, Fleetwood Mac official. That's got to be it. All right, let's try that one. Let's try. Okay, so that's fine. That's up. I don't know what this article is talking about. Do you see? That's ridiculous. Here it is. It's here. So maybe it was down for a short time. I mean, that happens. That happens. But I can't click on anything. Oh, there we go. All right, but home. Let's go back to home. Okay, it's working. Strange. So maybe it was down for some time. I don't know. All right, we'll just go ahead and get rid. Well, in case you were wondering, the Fleetwood Mac site is working. Whew. I don't know. I just don't know. I can't make this stuff up. I really can't. And that's why sometimes everybody, you got to be careful what you're reading on social media. And that's why I try to check things out a little bit over and over again, because you never know. You never, ever know. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Thank you for being here on this fabulous Friday. So, yeah, you just don't know. You got to double check. That's why, like, the whole Steve Perry, the seasons 3, I was literally going, what the what? And I check, double check. But now everything's out now. We'll talk about that in. Well, let's just talk about it now, shall we? I have like a curled up little doggy. Have you ever seen those little carpets with the dogs that breathe, like you can turn them on, and that's exactly what I have on my lap right now. I'm just saying. So Billboard, actually, they just put out an article about Steve Perry signing with Dark Horse Records, the label that the late George Harrison started. Now it's being run by his son Donnie and manager Dave Zonshine. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Now, we knew that Steve signed with Dark Horse a while ago, but he just officially announced it 1 week ago. And Dark Horse Records finally added that news and the season 3 info to their website. So, what I'm saying is that Steve Perry hadn't announced anything about the season 3. It wasn't on the Dark Horse Records website. I kept checking. I reached out to them, and I even have it, written. They never answered me. So I don't know about their customer service, just saying. And I wasn't like bad. I just said, is this real? I just want to know. Is Steve Perry really releasing another Christmas album? Because I haven't seen any. I mean, of course, I worded it properly. They never answered me. sent 2 emails. Just throwing it out there. So, what Steve said about signing on with Dark Horse is that I'm so pleased to announce that I have just signed with George Harrison's label, Dark Horse Records. I've so much music in me that has yet to be heard. To be able to work with a ton of people who support and respect my creative expressions is a dream come true. We all love your expressive creativeness, Mr. Peppermint Perry. Just to let you know, we love that about you. We love all of your creativity, all rolled up into a ball with a nice big bow on it. Someone just made fun of me today about how I say my R's. I can't help it. I'm from Rhode Island. What can I do? Sometimes I say them, sometimes I don't. So Steve went on to talk about how he loves holiday songs, which, a lot of us love holiday songs. Some of us don't. I do. It's something about holiday music that just makes me happy. Maybe I'm hoping it makes you happy too. I can't explain. Like if you hear Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, if that doesn't put a smile on your face, does the word curmudgeon come to mind possibly? Because it's a happy tune. Frosty the Snowman. I mean, we haven't had any snowmen making here in a very long time. But you know what? I love hearing that song. I do. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Yes, I'm saying it. Merry Christmas. It's not we wish you a Merry Holiday. We wish you a Merry freaking Christmas. That should be a song. We wish you a Merry freaking Christmas. I mean, it's a Merry Christmas. It's not, it could be Happy Holidays if you want it to be, but to me, it's Merry Christmas. And I wish it to you if you like that type of thing. So Steve also said on the Dark Horse site announcement that the magic of music is a very emotional gift. The idea of me recording a holiday record started many, many years ago. And he talked about this before too. And now has grown into my latest collection, the season 3. I have added 6 new tracks to this latest compilation, which totals 16. I hope this record brings you precious memories too. All the best to you and yours this holiday season. And I mean, doesn't that just make you love the precious Peppermint Perry even more than you do already? Yes, absolutely. He just needs to do a few little interviews. I'm just saying, he doesn't have to do a lot. He can do whatever he wants. He's Steve Perry. He'll never do nothing. But it would be nice if he did, like a couple little interviews here or there. So just so you know, the signed CD and album, the double album, like how nice is that? Who doesn't like a double album? I love myself a good double album. They're both sold out. So my thinking is that maybe he'll put some more out, maybe he won't. I mean, the official release date is November 8th, but on his site, on the Dark Horse site, the signed CD and double album, Gonzo. Gonzo. So, any chance of you trying to buy a Steve signed anything of the season 3 so you can go to bed with it is gone at this moment. However, I'm kind of thinking if enough people say, I want to sign something. I can't believe it's like to me, I can't believe it's sold out. Like we didn't even know if it was real for a time. So it's already gone. Maybe he didn't have that many. I don't know. I mean, it takes a lot to steer him right. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. So maybe he'll release more. I don't know. I'm sure people are hoping that he does a few more and puts them out there. So what a wonderful world. That's out. It's fantastic. I love it. I'm telling you, go and listen to it if you haven't already. And I don't know, and I've said this already, but I'm guessing the duet with his late dad will potentially be the last release. I mean, it would make sense because we've got release number 1. I'm thinking release number 2 might come tonight. Who knows? Tonight at midnight. He likes to release things at midnight. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe he stays up. Maybe he doesn't sleep. Let's think about that for a second. He might not sleep. So maybe release number 2 will come out this evening. I just kind of think it would make sense because everybody wants to hear that duet with his late dad so bad that that is the most anticipated track. I'm thinking from what I'm seeing and from what I'm reading that that would be the last track to be released, but who knows? What do I clearly don't know a lot, but I like to guess. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. So, it's definitely a great thing that Steve is doing this at this time of the year because, we had all that Journey stuff before. We had all of that Journey stuff going on between Neil and John, and whatever Steve does just kind of trumps everything. And Steve does like these positive things. This is a positively fun release, and we like hearing Steve's voice. We like hearing the fact that he's still releasing music. It's just all good. So all of that other yah stuff is gone and in the past. Well, of course it's in the past, but it's just nice that Steve came out and kind of capped or is capping off the rest of the year with this awesome release. So we're very excited about that. And, let us know in the comments, did you actually get to secure yourself a signed double album or CD? Let us know. And I got to tell you, so this weekend, tomorrow actually, Foreigner is finally being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can have your thoughts on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I have mine. That's for sure. Made those clear. Um, but this is a big honor for them. They're very excited. They're very honored. Lou didn't ever think this was going to happen. He's like, they're just not. It's political. It's not going to happen. We're never going to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And now that the day is almost here, I mean, Lou is so excited and he's so happy. This is just a great honor for them, no matter what any of us thinks about the Rock Hall. I think this is a fantabulous honor for Foreigner. I mean, they've worked hard. They've been with us, since 1976. I mean, these guys deserve this. They deserve this honor. However, Mick Jones sadly will not be there. Now, it was revealed this year that Mick is suffering from Parkinson's disease. So my hope is that he's okay. My hope is that he's comfortable. He's, probably just not able to travel. And, hopefully it hasn't progressed to the point that he doesn't know what's happening. We don't know. We don't know. We haven't really heard from Mick. So we just don't know what stage he's at in his disease. And we also know that there's a lot of anger, between the two. There's been a lot of anger from fans towards Mick, with royalties and Lou not receiving a lot of money from their number one song, their only number one song. There's a lot of that, but we can't deny the fact that the magic between Mick and Lou is completely undeniable. I mean, those gentlemen gave us music that will last forever and ever. Those two men gave us music, of course, along with the band, but Mick and Lou collectively brought us a band that we can still listen to today and feel like we're still back there. It's just Mick and Lou were musical gold together, plain and simple. So whatever, that bad karma is around, and Mick has said, he hopes the very best for Lou. He would love to hope that uh, everything can stay in the past. But on Lou's side too, I mean, I've had the honor to chat with Lou a bunch of times, and he's such a great person. He's such a humble man. You know, he was done wrong for sure. There's no question about it. I'll say it all the time. But at this point today, they have a huge honor happening tomorrow. Unfortunately, Mick won't be able to be there, but Lou will. And, we can just be happy about that. Now, let's see. We've got Lou that's gonna be there, and let's see. Okay, so it's Al Greenwood and Lou Graham. They're gonna be there. Allegedly, there's going to be a medley that they're going to do after they receive their award. And it was recently announced that Demi Lovato, Sammy Hagar, and Kelly Clarkson will be part of the induction segment. They all love Foreigner, which, I mean, classy people. They couldn't have picked, to me, better people. Um, I mean, it would have been great if Cher could be part of that because Lou really wants to meet her. So I can't wait to see what happens with his meeting with Cher. Hopefully, like I said, she's gonna be there, right? Of course she's gonna be there. Why wouldn't she be there? But you never she just did like this Victoria's Secret runway show. Oh my gosh. I mean, clearly she wasn't really singing. I mean, whatever. But dude, that woman, like she just doesn't age a second. It's crazy. She looks so good. I'm like, you should be out there instead of these Victoria's Secret models. Like put Cher out there. Holy crow. She looks great. So let's see. Okay. But the other thing we had to talk about this induction is that Dennis Elliott, now I saw this. He put this out. Oh boy. Here we go. All right. So okay. We'll get to I'm getting ahead of myself. So this article I have up in front of me is from vulture.com. And so if you haven't heard already, Dennis Elliott, original drummer for Foreigner, he's not going to be at the induction ceremony. Now, the title of this article reads Foreigner's drummer isn't snubbing the Rock Hall for wife guy reasons. And it goes on to say, let's see, Dennis Elliott won't be in attendance at the induction ceremony tomorrow, joining fellow member Mick Jones in avoiding the Cleveland metropolitan area for the celebration. Well, Mick probably can't be there for health reasons, allegedly, I'm assuming. But Dennis is going against a Billboard report that he's not going because his wife, I think her name is Iona, was not going to be allowed to walk the red carpet with the band. But Dennis said that's not true. He actually, this is on his Facebook page. He just put this out 28 minutes ago. And this is in all caps, guys. I didn't say anything about the red carpet. I was unhappy with the scheduling. To rephrase. Now, this is what he originally wrote. Dear Foreigner, fans and friends, don't look too hard. I will not be there. I was finally given the schedule after I packed the night before my flight, and it was totally unacceptable. I will be staying home. I had been asking management for weeks for details, and they waited until the very last minute at 9:43 p.m. the eve before my flight to address some of my questions. Sorry to disappoint any of my fans and friends. Hope everyone has a great time. Dennis. Now, I'm just confused because I don't know what he means by a scheduling conflict. So clearly it wasn't about the red carpet. I mean, it sounds like maybe he wasn't happy with how they were placing within the show. Maybe he wasn't happy with, I don't know, how they're going to do the medley or who's performing as backup. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up right now. I have no idea. But it sounds like a scheduling thing. I don't know what does that mean? A scheduling conflict. I can't figure out how to read into it. So if you know more than I do, let me know. Let all of us know in the comments. I'm really confused. He wasn't happy about something, and it's not about his wife not being able to walk on the red carpet. So that is put to rest. what it is. I mean, to me, it's like, oh, that's too bad because what a cool thing. What a cool night to, be part of. But he's chosen to not go. Yeah. So Patty said, I love that he donated a blow up jukebox to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Look like it still holds air after all these years. Oh, really? I didn't even know that. And Patty went on to say, I'm so happy for Lou, long overdue and well deserved. Well, hello. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So it is airing live on Disney Plus tomorrow night. Now I'm such a dummy and I don't even care. I call myself the way I see myself. I'm a dummy sometimes. I have Hulu. I love Hulu. So I'm like, the other day I said, who is this account trying to get into my Disney Plus account? I'm like, first of all, I don't have a Disney Plus account. And you get an email sometimes for these security breaches or whatever. So it says, "Oh, someone's getting into is in your Disney Plus account. Do you recognize this IP address or wherever?" And they were from the United Kingdom. And I'm like, "No, sorry. I don't have any family or friends there. Would love to. But you know, I no, no one's connected to my account from the UK. Thanks." So I called them up. They're like, "Oh, we'll, shut it down right away, change your password." So we did that, all set. Then I'm like, "Well, I don't have Disney Plus." And the person on the other end of the phone, and they were very nice, by the way, they were very helpful. They said, "Yes, you do." I'm like, "No, I don't." I told the person when I signed up for Hulu back in February, I said, "I don't want to pay for Disney Plus. I probably won't watch it." They said, "Well, it's part of your package." I said, "Well, take it off because that's going to save me some money." So whoever I was speaking to took it off. Okay, it's going to be 74.99. And I said, "And then there's taxes on top of that, right?" "Yes." I said, "Okay, so what does that bring it to?" 82.99. I said, "Well, what am I paying now?" And I knew exactly what I was paying. I was just testing. And the person said 82.99. So I said, "So by me removing Disney Plus, I'm not saving a dime." And the person said, "You're right. Yes." You got to ask about that. Literally, you can't leave a loophole on anything. Literally. So I've had it all this time. I didn't know. And it's included in my package, apparently. Now, if I were to remove live TV from Hulu, which I'm not doing, I like my live TV, then it would be cheaper, but really not by much. So if you guys have Hulu and you're paying that amount around that, check and see if you have Disney Plus included. Because maybe you do and you didn't even know. I didn't know all these months. How sad am I? Whatever. So it's on Disney Plus live tomorrow night. And then the day after, on Sunday, it will have the replay on Hulu. So I will be watching it live tomorrow night. I will have my popcorn ready to go and I will sit and watch Lou and the guys accept their award and, hopefully see a great fun medley from the trio. So there you go, guys. I mean, what, not really all fun this week, obviously. Lots of crazy things that happened this week. But, we have the positive news from Steve Perry. He's still going to be releasing some music. Watch tonight at midnight. Let's see if something's released. That'll be good. And see if maybe song number 2 comes out. And of course, we have the great news that Foreigner will finally be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Good for them. I'm sad that Dennis won't be able to be there. I think that stinks. Sorry to him. It's too bad because this is just a cool, one of those once in a lifetime things that everybody has literally been talking about for years. Ever since I started doing this, which was back in 2017, believe it or not, people have always talked about, and even before I came along, why isn't Foreigner in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Not including all the other people that should be in there too. So Yeah, it's just a big night and, hopefully Dennis is okay. It's just too bad. And hopefully Mick Jones really is doing okay. We send our love and prayers to him, battling with the disease he's battling with. And also to the gentlemen who are up in heaven from Foreigner and the gentlemen who are still here and will be able to accept that award tomorrow night, especially Lou. Love you, Lou. You are great. You are the greatest. Such a great guy. So, guys, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Download the free app of Kiki.fm and give yourselves a big, ginormous hug because you guys are absolutely and truly the best. And I love each and every one of you. Thanks, guys. I will very much see you soon. Don't know when, but I will. See you soon. Bye, guys.